constituents, no? And then the bonds constituent, the bonds connecting the substituents, no, uh, will become a pi bond. So hence you form alkenes, no? So based from the previous functionalities that we have discussed so far, no, we can do elimination reactions for alkyl halide like this, and then we can also have ether. So technically, this is an ether, yung tosylated compound. And then we can also do elimination from alcohols, no? Regardless what is um, the reagents and all, ang mechanism so far for the elimination reactions will fall into two. Ano yon? So ano yung mechanisms natin for elimination reactions, Josh? Regardless, the starting material, alkyl halide ba
Iwan ng
yan?
ito.
Ether, okay, correct. Ether or alcohol, it will undergo either E1 or E2 so that we can form alkenes, no? So, of course, there are rules for this. Na-discuss natin yun sa mga previous natin na functionalities. We'll deal with them, no, as we go along. Or we kind of remind ourselves with those rules, no, kada mag-move forward tayo or meron tayong mamimit ulit na elimination reaction. So like here, no, this is a tertiary alkyl halide. So we usually don't it's quite difficult for us to undergo elimination for this one, no? So actually, mas favorable actually ang elimination for this one kaysa substitution. So yun nga lang, via E2 ang reaction natin. So via E2, we'll have using the strong base then is strong bulky base like potassium terpetoxide. So we can produce this major product, no? Pero may minor product tayo na ganito. So similarly from alcohols, you do dehydration, no? It's loss of water for alcohols. We form also alkenes. But if you will notice here, the major product is what? For both, no? Regardless if alkyl halide ka nag-start or alcohol, Josh, they will undergo E2 and E1 respectively. So, ano ang major product mo? So, take note E2, ang alkyl halides will proceed via E2 while alcohols will proceed via E1. Ano ang major product mo dito? Yes, Josh?
Ang tawag dito?
What can you say about the major product?
Since Sovietins?
Hindi. Regardless kung alkyl halide or alcohol ang pinanggalingan, what can you say about the major product? Okay, the side step product should prevail, no? When you say side step product, ano naman yun? What is that side step product? If you had a side step product, how can you describe a side step product? Yes, Josh, how can
Yung
you
ano, yung
describe a side step?
pinaka-saturated box.
Correct, no? So for side step elimination to proceed, no, the side step product will be formed wherein the most substituted alkene, no, will be the most stable one. Via the mechanism, we can actually see that, no, and then the product will also be the most substituted one, no. In case there will be a tie, no, like a stereoisomer will be formed, cis versus trans, the trans product, no, or the trans side step product will prevail because this one will offer less steric hindrance. Okay, so this is how we promote elimination. Kasi 'di ba sabi ko sa iyo, 'di ba, ang alkyl halides, they will undergo elimination reactions via E2 mechanism. So if that is the case, ang competing niya kasi ay si SN2, no? SN2 mechanism. So these are the cues, or these are our guide rather, no? So that we can favor E2 mechanism over SN2 mechanism. So we've discussed this last time. So ayun dyan naman siya, like the use of secondary or tertiary alkyl halide if possible. So you don't usually use, if you don't usually start with primary na alkyl halide and then you expect an elimination product. Parang better na mas madali na lang yung gawin sa kila alcohols. But we can actually do that as well for alkyl halides. Tapos, synthesis must begin if a synthesis must begin with a primary alkyl halide, we need to use a bulky base so that we can favor E2 mechanism. Kasi hindi naman usually, may hirap pa mag-undergo rather ang SN2, kung bulky yung papalit. So, use a high concentration of strong and non-polarizable base such as an alkoxide. Alkoxides are very ideal for E2 mechanism. However, if you're going to use sodium ethoxide and potassium tert-butoxide, in tert-butyl alcohol, bases typically used to promote E2 reactions. So E2 ang magpo-proceed dyan. And then, raise up your temperatures so that it will favor elimination over substitution. Kasi si substitution reactions, mas gusto niya occur at lower temperatures. While si E2, yung elimination ay higher temp naman siya. Okay? There are things that we've highlighted, Kasi nga, marami na rin tayong natutunan with the addition of your alcohol, ether, and epoxide functionalities. When we're going to use a small base such as ethoxide or hydroxide, we're going to follow the Zaitsev rule, Like, ayan, si ethoxide in ethanol, So, sodium ethoxide. What we can see here is yung more stable or the more substituted alkene will be formed. So, this is your usual Zaitsev product na nakikita natin or we follow the Zaitsev rule here. However, there's catch here, Josh, For alkyl halides ito ha. For alkyl halides, when we undergo or carry out the hydrohalogenation with a bulky base such as potassium tert-butoxide in tert-butyl alcohol, it generally favors the formation of less substituted alkene. So take note, less substituted alkene. Yung alam natin dati na parang dapat Zaitsev lagi ang magiging magpa-prevail, Siya dapat ang magiging major product. Pero pag alkyl halide pala, tapos bulky na strong base ang ginamit such as tert-butoxide, So that's a very bulky base, strong naman siya. Instead of having the Zaitsev product, what we're going to have is the less substituted one, So ngayon, ano ang tawag sa rule na to? Wherein we are promoting the formation of less substituted alkene. Anong tawag ngayon dito, Josh? Sa rule na to? Elimination reaction siya ng alkyl halide, tapos via E2, tapos gagamit ka ng bulky base para mabubuo mo yung less substituted alkene. We call this, ito yung opposite ni Zaitsev, the Hofmann rule. Okay? So, highlight ko to Josh yung Hofmann rule para hindi ka maaano dito, matitrick, Trick to kasi parang general rule natin si Zaitsev So, this is your rule of thumb, kumbaga, si Zaitsev. Pero, merong catch, If you carry out the hydrohalogenations pala with bulky base, inuulit ko siya ha. Example, tert-butoxide, in tert-butyl alcohol, we're going to have our Hofmann product wherein the less substituted alkene will be favored over the more substituted one. So, yeah, this is nice, Kasi it means we can actually control the product that what we want, by using different alkoxides. If we are going to use, tignan mo ha, halos similar lang, pati yung temp, 70 degrees Celsius, dun sa small base such as ethoxide in ethanol. Pero you start with the same alkyl halide. So this is a tertiary alkyl halide, Josh. It's favorable for elimination. if we're going to have this, we're going to have the side step product. Pero starting with the same alkyl halide, if we're going to use a bulky base like tert-butoxide in tert-butyl alcohol, we're going to have our Hofmann product wherein the less substituted alkene will be more favored. So actually, nandito yung mechanism, no, for both side Seb and Huffman elimination. So si side Seb sa atin, familiar na to, no? For side Seb, we need to have the anti beta hydrogens, no? So yung anti-planar na beta hydrogen so that elimination can easily occur. Kasi nga via E2 to no? So considering the E2 reaction for this one, no? So we have here two isomers, the neomentyl tsaka mentyl chloride, no? So if the neomentyl chloride will undergo elimination, we'll have two products here. So yung more stable alkene will be the major product, 78%. So it means this one follows, neomentyl chloride follows the side Seb rule, no? The more stable one. And yung mechanisms, simple, yung etoxide natin will attack the antiplanar na beta hydrogen and then magli-leave yung chlorine, no, as your leaving group and then will form here the alkene. However, kapag yung methyl, no, yung mentyl chloride natin, ayan, katulad nito, anti-periplanar pa rin naman ito, no? So, take note, hindi naman mangyayari ang elimination reaction kapag ganun eh. Kapag hindi siya naka-anti-periplanar. And take note, since this is alkyl halide, E2 pa rin ang mechanism natin. So, alcohols naman kasi ang usually tsaka ethers ang magagamit ng E1, no? Yun yung clue natin. So, we still have this mentyl chloride. Mentyl chloride will also undergo elimination pero isang product lang yung mabubuo, yung less substituted, no, na alkene. So if that is the case, the Hofmann elimination was followed. So ito yung reason for this, yung mechanism, and we've discussed this last time. Okay, so paano naman kung alcohols yung gagamitin natin, yung starting material natin, alcohols. Ang alcohols,
Kailangan mo naman
yung mga
dehydrate
dehydration naman, no? Kasi yung isa, dehydrohalogenation. So, pag alkyl halide, ang specific term natin for elimination reaction is dehydrohalogenation. For alcohols, dehydration. Okay? Loss of water molecule. This can also be applied in ethers, no? Kasi kamukha naman ni ethers yung behavior ni alcohols. Mas matagal lang. Ayun yung generic natin. Mas matagal lang yung reactions natin for ethers. So, pag primary alcohols, yung gagamitin natin, Josh, wala tayong problem dito because this one will occur, elimination reaction will occur via E2. However, for secondary and tertiary alcohols, E1 ngayon ang mangyayari. And if you will notice, mas gusto natin na ang rate ng reactions natin mas mabilis actually for tertiary, secondary alcohols versus primary alcohols. So it means elimination reactions will be, or dehydration will be highly favored for tertiary alcohols, no? So dehydration, for dehydration to occur, we can use Bronsted acid such as sulfuric acid and phosphoric acid in lab. Pag sa industry, we use alumina for gas phase dehydrations, no? So, ayan. So, these are your parang tips natin or guide how to promote elimination reactions in alcohols, no? So, factor dito yung temperature and concentration of acid. It depends also to the structure of your alcohol substrate. Kapag primary alcohols, this one will occur via E2 mechanism. Take note of this, Josh, no? Concentrated sulfuric acid yung ginamit natin, tapos 180 degrees Celsius. So it means it's primary alcohols will require us a more concentrated acid and so more stronger, no, na acid din. And at the same time, higher temperature. Pero pag secondary alcohols, E1 mechanism ang isusundin natin. If you will notice here, we're going to use now phosphoric acid. So it's weaker acid compared to your sulfuric acid. And 85% na lang siya via 165 to 170 degrees Celsius temperature will form a very good amount of cyclohexane, around 80%. Pag tertiary alcohols naman, Josh, like what I mentioned, na-mention ko na to kanina, siya ang may favorite ng E1, or elimination in general, dehydration. We can actually perform this in lab conveniently using 20% sulfuric acid at 85 degrees Celsius lang, no? So we can convert tert butyl alcohol to 2-methylpropane with a very good yield 84% via E1 mechanism. So concentration and temperature, they are good parameters or good factors for your dehydration reaction. And usually this one will depend on the alcohol substrate mo. So tertiary alcohols ang pinakamabilis or pinakamadaling mag-undergo ng dehydration via E1. Okay? So next, we can also do primary and secondary alcohols undergoing rearrangement, no? So that the skeletons will rearrange, no, during
Wait, sir.
dehydration. So at ano pong tinatawag nating rearrangement?
Laba.
Yes.
Para,
Ano yun, Josh?
para sa ano? Para sa yung mag-move ng hydrogen tsaka methyl.
Anong tawag natin doon?
Hydrate shift tsaka methyl shift. Pero kailangan ko
Very
kailangan ko
good.
mag-CR.
Okay. Sige, Josh.
Really quick.
Pause ko muna.
Tiga ba?
Pause mo na lang din yung recording.
Tiga ba? Okay na ba?
Okay, so rejoin ka na lang, Josh, ulit kapag naputol, ha. Siguro we'll have another +1 lang na session to make up yung last minutes for today. Anyways, like what I mentioned, no, so nasa alcohols na tayo, alkenes, preparation of alkenes from alcohols. So yung second na need nating i-consider when we want to have alkenes from alcohols, alcohols can undergo rearrangements, no, such as yung metal shift tsaka hydride shift, so that you can achieve the more stable carbocation. Yun yung reason behind that, right? So kunwari eto, yung secondary carbocation mo, you have this structure. However, if there's a possibility that if you can transfer metal or hydride shift and then convert the secondary carbocation into a tertiary one, which is a more stable carbocation, it will do so. So like this, ito yung transition niya, no? So like a cyclopropene-like na transition state. And then, you now have a tertiary carbocation, which is more stable than the original one. So for this case, this is a metal shift, no? So lumipat siya. Take note, Josh, this is only not applicable for dehydration of alcohols as long as you have a carbocation and then your carbocation can perform rearrangement via metal or hydride shift. This can occur. Okay? Tandaan mo, Josh, generic ito. Ha? Generic yan. Hindi lang yan applicable for dehydration. Basta may carbocation ka, tas pag inanalyze mo yung carbocation structure mo, ay, parang pwede ito mag-undergo ng rearrangement. So, pwede iyon. Okay? So, the next, ayan. So, we're good with this one. So, yung 1A and 1B. We're also good with 2A and 2B. We ended up with this one. If I'm not mistaken, na paste na natin ito dun sa problem natin or sa board natin. I'll stop sharing and then I'm going to share our whiteboard. Josh, tapos you go back here. So, ito yung problem, no? Wait lang, loading yung ano. Ayan.
Umagal.
Ayun. Ito na. Can you now see the board, Josh? Okay. So, ayun, ito yung number 3. Ito, hindi natin siya natapos. So, okay. Mali kasi yung ginawa mo. Sabi ko, ito yung clue mo. Ito yung magiging product. Tama ba? Product ito, yung drinowing ko. Campine ang magiging product, not bornylene. Ito, which is bornylene to. Itong ina-expect natin. Yan. So, bakit ito ang naging product? How come? So, what's the mechanism there?
Ah,
Mhm. Can you flip this, Josh? Ito. Or ito na lang. I-flip mo to. Ito.
yata mo pwede
Yan.
mag-flip eh.
Hindi. I-redraw mo siya in such a way na nakaharap sa atin yung carbocation. Bali, magiging nasa right side siya. Yung carbocation. Parang ganito. Ito oh. Ayan.
Ano
Ito
ba?
pala. Ayan. Ito na pala siya. Ayan. So, bibigyan kita ng clue. Ang clue mo dyan ay anong type ng carbocation to?
Secondary.
Okay, secondary. Meron ka bang possibility na malipat or magka-rearrangement so that you can form a tertiary carbocation? Hmm.
Parang man lang yata mo. Methyl shift.
Sige, go ahead. Try mo.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Ano naging terminal? Wait lang mo. Somehow, nalipat to. May na-shift na band. What?
Mhm. Another clue, hindi yung methyl shift yung malilipat. Instead, from one side going to another side.
What?
Yeah. So, specifically, itong band na to, ko-connect na yan doon sa dulo. So
What?
that you can have the tertiary here. Yep.
Why?
It's still a shift.
Whole group shift?
Alkyl shift.
Yun nga ba, yung buong part ng ring nag-shift?
Oo, parang ganun. Na ano niya, na supposed to be, ito yung connection niya, yung nakapaganon, biglang dediretso siya dun sa kabila. Kasi proximity-wise, kaya iyan.
Mhm. Pinabot. So, kung
Tapos malelesen mo pa yung angle strain dun sa mismong bridgehead atom mo. Sige, try mo.
wala pa. Kaya pala pa manlipat si Bridget. Kasi, di naman siguro nag-double na methyl shift.
Yeah, hindi.
So, bilabang. So, nagawa na, so may ganda. Tapos, ang dapat, sa bridgehead.
Yan,
Bridgehead.
lipat yung banda yan, dediretso siya dun sa kabila. Diretso banda siya dun sa kabilang dulo.
Kaya, dito po siya.
Hindi. Hindi dyan. This bond, so sana ay mag-ano siya. Ito, this bond. Lilipat yan dito. Sa other side. Yan.
What?
Sige, go. Try mo. Wait lang. Rejoin ko tong isa.
Dito. Kita mo?
Yup,
Kasi kung dito,
dediretso siya
dito
dyan.
cycle
Oo,
lang.
kaya parang,
What?
oo,
Okay,
yan.
medyo weird lang.
Ah, sige, go ahead.
So,
Ang reasoning dyan ay, of course, sa energy pa rin.
Amazon break. Okay, wait.
Oh, okay. Ang tawag pala dyan ay Wagner-Merwin rearrangement, which is a classical carbocation. Wow! I-note ko nga to, Wagner-Merwin rearrangement.
So, sa bridgehead, nawala ang...
Hindi, ay Josh, hindi. Sorry. Na-join ko na ba sa yung isang ano ko?
Hanggang siya.
Join ako ha.
Difficult.
Ano, not meeting.
Wait lang ba?
Sige lang.
So,
Ayan, joining lang yung
dito,
isa
dito.
kong account.
Dito. Okay, wait lang ba? So, itong band na to, pupunta dito.
No. Yung band na to, wait, naka-red ba to?
Pero yun, siya yung ano eh.
Hindi, siya yung sa carbocation, right?
Ano?
Siya ang lilipat. Wait. Yeah. Oo. Pwede yan. Tama.
So, ngayon,
Correct.
wait lang ba?
Tama ito. Tama yan. Gaganyan siya.
Wait lang ba? Ngayon, dapat na-preserve siya.
Sige. Yan. Tama yan. You have this, the Wagner-Merwin rearrangement. Yan. Josh, rejoin ka na lang ha kapag naputol yung meeting ha.
Sige mo.
Although 10 minutes pa naman. Pa-continue nga lang, Josh. Kukuha lang ako ng inumin.
Ano sa product? Alam ko na. Okay. Alam ko na.
Ayan, you're doing good. Tapos, i-represent mo siya in such a way na kamukha nitong product mo. Tapos, make sure na hindi mawala yung plus mo, ha? Oh, plus lang yan.
Di ba naman na-dehydrate na?
Ha?
Natanggal na yung hydrogen.
Nagtanggal ka na kagad. Okay, sige. Hindi, ang iniisip ko nga, ito pa lang, dito pa lang sa carbocation mo, i-represent mo na to na, ayan, kamukha nito, nung product. Pwede na ba nating gawing kamukha nung product? Yeah, pwede na. Parang, ito siya. Ah, tama ba ako?
Opo, kasi
Yan, ganyan
nagano,
siya.
itong part na to,
Ah,
ano?
yeah, siya na yung triangle sa taas. Right?
Yes.
Dito ka na ngayon mag-eliminate. So, nandito yung beta hydrogen mo. Tama ba ako? Yan. That's your
Mm.
beta hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? Mm-hmm. That is what I'm telling you.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And then, you have your base there. Sino ba ang base natin? May in-state ba sa problem? No, we don't have. Si bisulfate, pwede. Sulfuric acid kasi dito eh. O kaya si water. Water will do. And,
Mm. OH2.
mhm.
Ayan, bali ako na ba?
Yeah, correct. And then you'll form the product.
Yung nasa repetition
Yon.
lang kasi, manghirap kasing hirap i-visualize. Dito
Siguro
pala dito.
magbibigay pa ako ng ganitong problem yung nasa mismong slide natin just to discuss ano yung reasoning behind this. Pero yung reasoning behind this, Josh, yung potential energy mo forming this carbocation, which is ano pa rin, very, parang na-discuss na natin siya, no? It's understandable kasi it's from a secondary carbocation. Ayan. We form a tertiary carbocation here. However, this one is a special type of system kasi. Ito ay Norbonian system, no? So, or Norbonian non-classical carbocation. So, that's the case, no? So, hindi nangyayari yung metal shift dun sa isoborneol. So, this is a non-classical carbocation. The Wagner rearrangement. Hindi. Ang Wagner-Merwin rearrangement pala, this is your classical rearrangement or classical carbocation. Ito yung tinuro ko sa'yo. Yun pala ang specific na tawag doon. Tignan mo, I'm learning something new kapag nagdi-discuss talaga. Narinig ko naman na to, kaso lang, parang ngayon lang na-remind sa akin. Classical carbocation, yung typical na metal shift tsaka hydride shift. Yan. Yan. Or hydride. So, recall Josh ha, di ba meron kang hydride or metal shift? That is your classical carbocation. No? So, we call them the Wagner-Merwin rearrangement. Ito naman, yung Norbonil or Norbornian system. Ito. Specific kasi ito sa mga bicycloalkanes. Yan, Norbornian system. This is a non-classical carbocation. Okay, so ang nangyayari kasi dyan, Josh, yung sa energy niya, nagpapalitan yung dalawang side. Kaya ang mangyayari, nasa gitna yung lilitaw na carbocation mo. So, that's a non-classical carbocation. Siguro we'll have a discussion for this within the slide. Gawa ako ng slide dito. So, rearrangement can happen here. And thus, we form your campene. So, instead your from isoborneol, naging, instead of bornylene, naging campene. So, this is campene. Tapos, isoborneol. Okay. Okay. Gonna stop sharing lang, Josh. And then, let's go back to our discussion.
Ay, nako.
Ayan, hello Josh. Naririnig
Yes,
ako?
Papa. Yes, Papa.
Itong sakto pala natapos yung meeting. So, after this meeting, Josh, join ka pa for one more. Siguro extend lang tayo mga 10 to 15 minutes just to make up dun sa lost time natin kanina while nag-CR ka. Okay?
Papa.
Ano ang nakikita mo screen? PowerPoint?
Papa.
Okay, good. Okay. So, we're done with this one. Ayan. Ayun. Tapos na tayo dun sa review natin, no? It's a good review wherein we had our discussion for alkene formation or alkene synthesis. We now proceed with alkene reactions. Generally, Josh, ang alkene reactions involve addition reactions, no? So, when you say addition reaction, ang general lang natin na equation dito is may nadadagdag na substituent, no? So, you break the double bond. Technically, the pi bond will be broken there, and then another sigma bond will be formed. So, this is the general characteristic for addition reactions. This is also applicable for alkynes, Josh, kasi multiple bonds ang alkyne, right? So, applicable din to. Yung addition reactions ay pwede rin gawin ni alkynes. And we'll see that sa next chapter natin. So, the pi bond is broken and two new sigma bonds are formed. So, we can clearly see here that this pi bond is broken so that we can accommodate the incoming two substituents here, yung X and Y. So, we now have your addition reactions. So, or this is a typical addition reaction. So, take note, Joshua, alkenes in general, they are electron rich with the electron density of the pi bond concentrated above and below the plane of the molecule. We'll see that dun sa electron mapping later sa next slide. So therefore, Josh, hindi nagre-react ang alkene sa nucleophiles. Instead, siya ang nucleophile. So ayun, meron na tayong another point of view, Josh, no? Kasi for the longest time, we're treating the functionalities, whatever functionalities that we've learned so far, sila yung nucleophile, no? Or tama ba sila ang nucleophile? Hindi, base ang ma-attack eh. So, yeah, sa kanila nga nanggagali. Ay, sila ang aatakihin, no? Ng mga nucleophile. So, ang point of view natin ay yung functionality, electrophile sila. Okay? Ngayon, babaliktad yung sitwasyon. Si alkenes ngayon ang nucleophile. Sila ang electron rich, no? So, mayaman sa electrons ngayon yung alkenes kasi nga gawa ng double bond, no? And therefore, they will react with electrophilic substituents or electrophilic reagents. Kasi what we have from the previous functionalities, sila yung ano natin, electrophiles natin, no? So the nucleophiles will react to them kasi nga gawa nung carbon na partial positive. Naalala mo yon yung partial positive carbon kasi nga nakaband siya kay halogen or nakaband siya kay OH or sa heteroatoms mo, no, for alkyl halides, alcohols and ethers and epoxide. So sila ngayon yung electrophile. So nucleophiles yung reagent natin. This time baliktad. Yung mismong starting material natin na alkene, sila ang nucleophiles and then they react with electrophiles. So, simple alkenes, they do not react with nucleophiles because of course they are the nucleophiles or bases, reagents that are themselves electron-rich. So, yung mga nucleophilic reagents natin, like the bases, no, yung mga alkoxides and all, they don't react with alkenes in general. Kasi repulsion yun, Josh, no? Electron rich and another electron rich. Therefore, hindi sila magre-react. So instead, sa acids to nagre-react, Josh, to alkenes, no? Yun yung maiisip mo kagad. Kasi kung hindi siya nagre-react sa bases na electron rich, malamang sa acids magre-react tong alkenes. So this is electron map of your electrostatic potential plot for alkenes, no? Specifically, ethene. Tama ba? Hindi ko lang mabasa, nakaharang kasi. Ethylene dito, or ethene, no? So that's the common name, ethylene. We can clearly see here that the alkene, or excuse me, the ethene is rich, no, in electrons, yung above and below the ring. So, ito yung top view, Josh. Yan. Top view lang ito. No? Yan. So, top view. Yan. So, we can clearly see here yung reddish portion. No? So, electron-rich area yan or electron-rich region. So, because you have a higher density there of negative charge in the region of your pi bond. However, ang pi bond ay gawa saan, Josh? Ano nga ulit characteristic ng pi bond?
Anong characteristic mo? In what way?
How can you describe a pi bond?
Mas weaker siya sa ano, sa
Sigma
sigma
bond?
bond.
Ano pa? Paano siya nabuo? Top view ito.
Sideways overlap mo.
Correct. Kung sideways overlap, naka-perpendicular yan sa sigma bond, right? Dun sa unang bond mo. Correct? Tama ba? So, dahil dyan, ano yung mangyayari dun sa itsura ng... Ay, ito pala. Ayan. Ayun. Sa itsura ng ating orbital. Ayan, nandito ngayon yung sideways overlap natin. So, ibig sabihin, nasaan ang electron richness or electron rich regions, Josh? Saan mo siya makikita? With respect to your double bond. Kasi sideways overlap siya, perpendicular siya dun sa sigma bond. So, ibig sabihin, nasaan ang electron-rich regions natin, Josh? Makikita yung electron-rich regions, siyempre, aside from your sigma bond na nasa loob kasi siya, no? Yung sigma bond. Dahil sideways overlap to, yung mismong alkene, yung top, yan, tsaka below, no? Above and below the ring nung ating alkene, nandoon po ang yan, electron-rich region natin. Okay? Clear ba tayo dito, Josh?
Opo.
So, dahil gawa nga ng sideways overlap siya, Josh, above and below the alkene plane, no? Yung magiging electron-rich regions natin dito. Okay. So, gonna clear all the drawings muna before I move sa next slide. Okay. We also have this concept, no? Kung yung elimination natin can also occur via um, what planar preference, Josh, yung elimination. Kailan lang mangyayari yung elimination? If your beta hydrogen is what? Anti-periplanar or syn-periplanar with respect to your leaving group. Kasi may leaving group pag elimination eh. Mm. Yes, Josh.
Mhm.
Mm. Kailan lang mangyayari ang beta elimination?
Anti-periplanar.
Okay, good. So, anti-periplanar. So, dito naman, yung addition natin also has planarity. So, we can actually add the x and y, yung kanina, yun sa general equation natin, in two ways, no? So, because the carbon atoms of a double bond are both trigonal planar, so yung elements x and y can be added from either sides, no, of your alkene. So, of your trigonal planar. So, ngayon, kapag yung x and y mo, ayan, ay na-add sa same side, we call that the syn addition or syn addition reaction, right? Tapos, kapag naman yung x and y mo na-added sa opposite sides of your alkene bond, that will be your anti-addition reaction. Okay? So anti siya. Yan, katulad nito. So, we have here your C double bond C. Tapos may XY ka na reagent. If you will notice here, the XY were added from the same side. This is your syn addition. So, ayan, katulad nito, nagkaroon ka ng yellow tsaka green substituents, no, dun sa same side. Pero, if your X and Y were added in opposite sides, it's called the anti-addition. Okay, then next.
True.
So, ibig sabihin, Josh, may ano ulit to? Ano ang tawag dito? Merong stereochemistry, na? Ayan, ito ay summary lang to ha. At hindi to limited dito. Baka madagdagan pa nga itong ma-discuss ko sa'yo, Josh. Ito yung summary of your addition reactions possible for cyclohexene. So, if you will notice here, this is your cyclohexene. Yan. So, the pi bond will be broken. If you add HX, no, hydrogen halide, Josh, where X can be chloride, bromide, and iodide. So, HF is not ideal kasi nga hindi magiging complete yung reaction or masyadong mababa yung yield. We have hydrohalogenation, wherein you will lose the pi bond and then HX will be added. Hydrohalogenation is what? Ano to? Siya yung kabaligtaran nino, Josh.
And halogenation.
Hydrohalogenation.
Kabaliktad
Again, sorry.
ni dehydrohalogenation?
Correct. Kabaligtaran siya nung elimination ni alkyl halide. 'Di ba? Kasi 'di ba ang elimination ni alkyl halide, ang tawag natin specifically ay dehydrohalogenation. In fact, kapag may alkene ka na, we can easily convert the alkene back to its alkyl halide form by just adding the HX. So, pwedeng HCl, HBr, HI. Hydrohalogenation yung reaction natin. Tapos, naalala mo yung sa alcohols, to convert alcohols to alkenes, ano ang natin? Elimination, specific elimination reaction doon. We call that what? Loss of water.
Loss of water. Dehydration.
Dehydration. Correct, dehydration. So, ano yung reverse nun? Hydration. Okay? So, yung alkene natin, if nireact lang natin siya or in-expose natin sa water in the presence of acid, so acid catalyze ito. Or pwedeng acid assistant. So, we can see later, no? So, hydration reaction will occur, no? So, addition reaction ito wherein your a molecule or a mole of water will be added to your functionality. And then, we could also have chlorine, chlorination tuloy. That's a specific one. X2, wherein your X2 can be Cl or Br. Actually, pwede rin I2 to. Kaso lang yung I2 yata may ibang way din, no? May side reaction siya. Kaya usually, chlorine and bromine lang yung ina-undergo dito. If you add your alkene with your Cl2 or Br2, that's called halogenation. Chlorination, bromination. So, ibig sabihin nun, Cl2, Br2 yung inad mo. So, iodine kasi yung I2 ay pwede rin dito, if I'm not mistaken. Mas mababa lang or challenging yung reaction. Okay? So, hindi siya preferred way for formation ni diiodo na compound. Okay? But this one specifically works for chlorine and bromine. So, next, we can also have cyclohexane. You add with halogen, X2, and void water, you form the halohydrine. So this is halohydrine formation wherein your or halohydrine formation wherein your chlorine or bromine, Cl2Br2 together in the presence of water. So ano siya, aqueous, no? Aqueous Cl2, aqueous Br2. You form halohydrine. And then we also have this cyclohexane. This is BH3, boron trihydride with hydrogen peroxide, basic, no? Alkalized ba siya ng hydroxide. We have the hydroboration oxidation reaction wherein an alcohol will be formed. So, parang may tanong ako, Josh. Anong difference ng hydration tsaka ng hydroboration oxidation? You try to, check lang. I-check mo tong slide na to. Ano yung similarity muna nila? Hydration tsaka hydroboration oxidation.
Hydration. So, yung hydration, wait, pareho nag-form ng alcohol.
Correct. Same sila ng products na nabuo, no? So, alcohols yung nabuo nila. Pero makikita mo later, no, kapag napunta na tayo dyan, ano yung difference ng dalawa? Okay? Ni hydration tsaka hydroboration oxidation. Bakit kailangan mo pa ng hydroboration oxidation? Kung meron ka namang hydration na lang, no? Imagine mo, water lang yan, tsaka aqueous sulfuric acid lang, tapos you form alcohols na. Pero bakit nagkaroon ka pa ng hydroboration oxidation? If we have hydration already. We'll see that sa next slides natin pag nandiyan na tayo. Okay? So, next. So, let's start with the model lang to, ha. So, take note nyo siya. Yung pinakauna kasi nating reaction, si hydrohalogenation. Siya yung gagawin nating model reaction for addition reactions. Kasi ang dami ng addition reactions mo, in fact, no? So, dito 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. So, pwedeng dagdagan ko pa yan, Josh, na ibang reagents lang yung gagamitin. So, if that is the case, kailangan lang natin ng model reaction, no? Para susundan natin sa susunod na mga types ng alkene reactions. So si hydrohalogenation kasi very easy to understand to eh. So hydrohalogenation is the addition of hydrogen halides such as HCl, HBr, and HI to alkene so that you can form alkyl halides. This is exactly the reverse of the hydrohalogenation wherein your alkyl halides are converted into alkenes, no? So via E2 mechanism. Ito baliktad. So hydrohalogenation siya. Mag-a-add tayo ng HX dun sa alkene para bubuo tayo ng alkyl halide. So similarly, no, you have here your alkene, this pi bond. So yung pi bond ay mabibreak, no? If you will notice, meron ka ng alkyl halide wherein HX is added, no? Hindi lang natin sure kung nasa same side siya or opposite side. Makikita natin yan sa mga next slide, no? Pero if you will notice, Josh, anti-addition ang papaboran dito. So, ibig sabihin, yung H and X will be added in opposite sides. You'll see that later. Ngayon, two bonds are broken in this reaction, the weak pi bond of your alkene and then the HX bond, no? So kung mare-recall mo, Josh, kung ano dapat yung bilang nung na-break, no, ay same din dun sa mabubuo na bago, dun sa hybridization yun eh. So same din dito, no? The weak pi bond of alkene and HX bond, they are broken. So dalawa yon, we should form two bonds then. So two new sigma bonds are actually formed. One dun sa H, ayan, and then one dun sa X. Okay? So, we still have the um, two bonds no, na nangyari. So, kasi nga, naputol yung HX bond, naputol yung pi bond dito. Yan. So, tapos yung pi bond here is broken. Okay? Tapos, take note, recall your HX is polarized with a partial positive charge on H. Bakit, Josh? Can you explain lang quickly why this one is polarized? Ito, in general, ito. Yes, Josh?
The
Why is
electronegativity.
HX polarized? Okay, electronegativity, Nino. Nino, Josh. Electronegativity of what? What atom? Sa HX mo, bakit siya polar? Polar covalent yan eh. Bakit, Josh? Yes, Josh. Bakit nga ulit polar?
Electronegative nga ba?
Of course.
Si halogen.
Okay, correct, no? Halogens, in fact, dun sa periodic table natin, they have the highest, no, electronegatives, or they are the most electronegative elements in the periodic table. Therefore, you'll have an equal sharing of your electrons in equivalent bond. So, polar covalent bond yung mabubuo. That's the reason why you have partial bonds there. Si H ang magbe-bear ng partial positive, tapos si halogen ang magbe-bear ng partial negative. So, with this, no, we can easily perform electrophilic addition. Ayan na, naging specific na. Di ba addition reaction lang yung tawag ko sa'yo kanina? Tama ba?
Tama.
Ayan. Wait lang, Josh. Ayan. Medyo... Ay, sorry. Aha. Addition reaction lang. Actually, may specific dito. Dahil electrophiles yung na-add sa atin, electrophilic addition yung tawag natin dito. Okay? So, EA. So, EA ang shortcut natin dito. So, we now have electrophilic addition. So, because the electrophilic hydrogen end of HX is attracted to the electron-rich double bond of your alkene, so those reactions or these reactions in general, we call them electrophilic reactions. Yan. Okay. So, ngayon, ang kailangan lang muna, ituturo ko sa'yo, paano, ayan, paano mag-draw nung addition products, no? So, how to draw the products of an addition reaction or addition products in general. So, una, you locate the C double bond C or the alkene. So, kung nasan man yung alkene, yan. Identify the sigma bond of the reagent that will be broken. So, kunwari, kung HBr ito, hydrohalogenation to eh. So, kung HBr to, yung bond between H and then bromine will be broken. And then break that sigma bond, ilalagay mo ngayon yun sa magkabilaang carbon nung alkene mo. Okay? Hindi siya pwede, Josh, yung ganito. Gagawin kong colorful ha, para at least we can identify. Hindi siya pwedeng ganyan. Ayan. Tingnan mo 'to. Anong error dun sa ginawa ko? Ano yung error sa ginawa ko?
Hmm,
Saan na-add yung HBr?
nalagay sa same carbon.
Correct, hindi siya ganyan. Regardless kung syn addition or anti-addition, dapat sa dalawang magkahiwalay siya na carbon, yung constituent, no, na carbon nung original alkene mo. So dapat kung ano man yung i-add mo, Josh, no, yung dalawang substituents na i-add mo sila separately for each carbon, forming your alkene bond originally. Hindi siya pwedeng sa iisang carbon lang. So X ito. Yan. That's a big X. Okay? So what we will do is we add itong bond na to will be broken, yung HBr. Yan. So gawin ko lang siyang HBr. So ito. Yan, sigma bond broken. Tapos ano pa yung isang mabibreak na bond, Josh? Yan. Yes, Josh. Ano pa yung isang bond na mabibreak?
Dapat si ano rin. Okay lang.
Hmm. Kasi dalawang sigma bonds ang mabubuo mo eh. Sino pa yung mabibreak? Hmm. Ano pa? Siyempre may mabibreak sa alkene. Ano yung mabibreak sa alkene? Yes, Josh. Ano yung mabibreak sa alkene?
Yung mismong pi band.
Correct. So yung pi bond will be broken. So pi bond will be broken. And then, ma-add ngayon yung HBr. Yan. Sa dalawang carbon natin originally dun sa alkene. So similarly sa cyclohexane, kung HCl yung ginawa mong reactant or reagent, the hydrogen and chlorine will be added dun sa ring mo din, no? So, yan. To form chlorhexane. So, yung isa bromoethane ang naging product. And then, ayan. So what can we say about the energy change when we do electrophilic addition? So in fact, Josh, no, yung electrophilic addition, it's actually thermodynamically favorable. Bakit? What can you explain? Bakit siya thermodynamically favorable? Explain mo using that slide. Ilang beses na natin itong inaaral yung thermodynamics. Yes, Josh? Bakit siya thermodynamically favorable?
Kasi, kung iba-break, kung ano kaya, mas
Hmm.
weaker siya.
Anong weaker? Sige, explain yung
267,
thermodynamically.
267
Ayan na
kg
yung
per
slide.
molar percent.
Ano, sorry. Explain using that slide. You have there the overall reaction for ethane and then you form bromoethane. So, in fact, if it's in kilocal per mole, ang delta H not reaction mo or change in enthalpy, reaction, change of enthalpy for your reaction is negative 14 kilocalories per mole. So, ayan, nandyan yung sa baba, negative 60 kJ per mole siya kung gusto mo naka-kilojoule. So, what can you say about the reaction? Describe the reaction, Josh, in general.
Dapat na so naano muna siya, si H na break kay BR nga. Tapos na-break si
Mhm.
Paiban. Tapos
Mhm.
si
And
BR,
then you
in-attack
have
niya.
Okay, you have a positive 635 kg per mole for ano lang, energy needed to break bonds. Paano naman yung bond form? So, dalawa ang bonds na nabuo mo dyan. So, you have there the negative, for the formation of your CH bond, negative 410 kg per mole yung marirelease. And then for the formation of your CBR bond, you will have a negative 285 kg per mole or 285 kg per mole will be released in a total of negative 695 kg per mole. So, since ano nga ito, no, ang delta H naught natin ay uh, bonds broken minus bonds formed. So that will be plus 635 or overall delta H naught will be kung ano man yung summation mo nung broken plus summation nung bond formation. Mangyayari is delta H naught is equal to negative 60 kg per mole. So thermodynamically speaking, Josh, what can you say about the reaction energy releasing or energy absorbing? Negative 60 kg per mole. Yes, Josh. For bromoethane formation from ethene and HBr. So hydrohalogenation.
So ginawa nga si BR yan.
Mm. Ano siya? Anong type ng reaction siya thermodynamically speaking?
Exothermic.
Energy. Okay, correct. Exothermic, energy releasing siya. So this is energy releasing. So therefore, sa thermodynamics ito, thermodynamically favorable yung EA kasi nga exothermic siya. Okay? So, take note hindi ko pa sinasabing spontaneous siya. Kasi paano lang natin malalaman kung spontaneous, Josh? Anong parameter yung needed natin for spontaneity? Naalala mo? Hmm. Yes,
Dapat
Josh?
exothermic siguro. Ay, hindi. Dapat
Ah,
dapat negative entropy.
negative entropy for
Change.
spontaneity. Ano yung
S negative.
tama. Correct. And ano pa, yung talagang siya yung magde-describe ng
Gibbs.
spontaneity. Okay, yeah. Si Gibbs, si delta G.
Negative.
So unless calculate natin si delta G natin, if we find it negative, spontaneous talaga yung reaction. Pero we can also do the uh, absolute entropies. Kaso lang yung absolute entropies kasi hindi siya ganun ka usual na way, no? Kasi nga, lagi mong iaano yung crystal lattice, parang isa-set mo into zero, di ba? Just to have the absolute entropies. So si Gibbs free energy, the change in Gibbs free energy can also describe the spontaneity of your reaction. But so far, what we have, thermodynamically speaking, ay favorable si electrophilic addition kasi nga exothermic siya. So, ngayon, let's have the mechanism for your EA, electrophilic additions. So, ngayon, the mechanism of electrophilic addition consists of two successive Lewis acid-base reactions. No? So, iba na to, Josh, kasi so far, what we have learned ay elimination reactions tsaka substitution reactions. No? So, itong dalawa. So, nakaapat na tayong mechanism dun so far. SN1, SN2, E1, E2. Ito. So, EA, electrophilic addition mechanism. So, ito, successive pala siya na Lewis acid-base reaction. So, let's study. So, yung step 1 natin dito, so the alkene will act as your Lewis base because it's electron-rich and then donates an electron pair to your HBr, the Lewis acid. Kaso lang, specifically, sinong part ng Lewis acid? Kasi HBr ito eh. Josh, sinong part ng Lewis acid yung mag-a-accept ng electron pair coming from your alkene? Sige nga.
Yan ang mag-accept.
Kasi sabi dito, si alkene, magdo-donate daw ng electron pair. Pero sino
Dapat may
mag-a-accept
electron
nung...
pair acceptor.
Exactly. Yung Lewis
Carbocation
acid
ion.
natin sa HBr.
Carbocation ion?
Sino doon? Carbocat ion? May carbocat ion dito? HBr yung ano mo.
Oo na.
HBr yung reagent mo. Sino sa HBr ang mag-a-accept ng electron pair?
H?
Kasi,
Kasi na-break nga yung bond.
ah,
Wait
hindi
lang.
pa mabibreak ang bond. Bakit si H hindi si bromine?
Si bromine, meron na siyang papunta po sa kanya. Na pero, dito.
Hindi. Oo, yun nga. Pero bakit si hydrogen ang magiging Lewis acid atom mo dyan?
Ah...
'Di ba? Pwede rin naman kay bromine ko ibigay yung ano,
when I
tapos
realized,
ibababreak din naman.
well, may empty orbital siya.
Ano, empty orbital? Hindi. Nako, hindi ka nakikinig kanina. Ayan yung hinighlight ko kanina. Hmm. Bakit yung electrophilic addition, mag-i-start siya for hydrohalogenation, mag-i-start siya wherein your Lewis base na alkene, idodonate niya yung
Kasi
electrons
wait
niya
lang kasi po.
papunta kay H.
Kasi electronegative si BR, so medyo full na yung ano niya.
Sorry, electronegative C.
Bromine. So papunta,
Si
nandun na
bromine.
sa kanya more or less.
Oo, partial negative kasi siya. So, dapat hindi siya magre-repel yung electrons na idodonate. So, Lewis acid natin sa HBr, pero specifically, ang Lewis acid atom natin dyan, yung hydrogen, kasi partially positive siya. So, the alkene electrons, no, yung electron pair from alkenes, your Lewis base, will be attracted to the hydrogen, partially positive hydrogen of your HBr. Thus, siya ang Lewis acid atom natin dun sa HBr. So the hydrogen will accept an electron pair dun coming from your alkene, and then the HBr bond will be broken, no? So ito ang slow part ni electrophilic addition, Josh. Tandaan mo to ha, siya ang slow part. Ngayon, pag nadagdag na natin, Josh, yung hydrogen rather, no? So may bromide kang may iwan. So kaso lang itong bromide mo, ano na siya? What do you call this? Ayan. Ion na siya. Hindi na siya part ng HBr, definitely. Kasi nga, si H nadagdag na. Ayun, you have a formation of new bond here. So, anong nangyari dun kay alkene? Sige, intindihin natin, Josh. What happened to your alkene nung nadagdag na yung H? Yung alkene ay naging, ano na? Sorry, nag-shift pala. There. Yan. Yes, Josh. Ano na nangyari sa alkene mo? Josh, are you still there?
Opo.
Ano nangyari na? Nung nadagdag na yung hydrogen mo dun sa alkene, tapos naging bromide ka na, may bromide ka dyan na side product, ano nangyari sa alkene mo? Naging ano siya? Sa structure. Ito ngayon yung intermediate mo dyan. You now form a what?
Carbocation ion.
Very good. So you now form a carbocation ion as your intermediate. So intermediate yan. So yung formation ni carbocation ion from your alkene, this is the rate determining step for your electrophilic addition. So slow dapat ito. Ayan. So rate determining step natin yan. Ngayon, since may bromide ka dito, and this is a nucleophile, dahil electron rich na siya, no? So, yan. The heck? Ano yung may erase? Hmm. Okay, bahala ka. So, eto na ngayon yung nucleophile mo. Yan. Nucleophile iyan. This one can react now to your um yan. Magre-react na siya dun sa carbocation natin. So, yan na yung fast step natin, Josh. And then we can now have the formation of your 2-bromobutane. No? So, kasi from cis-2-butene, nag-add tayo ng HBr, naging 2-bromobutane siya. So, nucleophilic attack of bromide. So, kasi nucleophile na nga siya. So, very electron-rich kasi itong bromide natin. Okay? So, yan. That's the step 2, no? The bromide is now the Lewis base and it donates an electron pair to your carbocation.
Son.
Sorry. Hello, Josh. Kita ba ako? I mean, ano yung nakikita ang slide? Ano na lang to? Quick na lang, Josh. Hello, hello. Baka wala kang sounds. Di kita naririnig. Oh, okay. Pero sakto naputol yung
Laba.
ano,
Laba.
yung,
Ayan.
ayan, hello, hello. Naputol din naman yung meeting natin kanina. Sakto
Ganun.
nag-40 na siya.
Agrala ba? Pwedeng coincidence.
Oo, as in talagang sabi ko nga, naputol pala siya. Anyways, ayun. So, balik tayo. So, just to have a quick summary lang nung kanina, no? So, the electrophilic addition mechanism consists of two steps. It's two successive Lewis acid-base reactions. First one is, the first step, yung alkene mo, siya yung nucleophile, no? Or siya yung Lewis base natin. So it's electron rich. It will donate an electron pair to your Lewis acid na HBr, specifically dun sa hydrogen atom, kasi siya yung partially positive dun kay HBr mo, no? Kay hydrogen halide in general, no? Tapos, once nakabit na si hydrogen, ion is your intermediate, and you have your halogen already, or halide rather, no? So, bromide for this time. So, take note, step 1 is your slow step. It's, since this one is your slow step, this is also your rate determining step. Sa step 2, another Lewis acid-base reaction, yung bromide ngayon or halide in general, that will be your Lewis base. Siya yung magdodonate ng electron pair kay carbocation acting as your Lewis acid. Then, forming your alkyl halide already. For this case, 2-bromoethane is your final product. This is a fast reaction, no? So, basta nabuo mo na yung carbocation, tapos meron ka namang bromide or halide in general na rich in electron or negatively charged, it will just attack the carbocation. So, nucleophilic attack of your halide on the carbocation for the formation of your carbon-halogen bond. So, if we're going to discuss this using
May pa
electrophilic
yung sa
maps,
previous slide pala ba?
electrophilic maps ulit. Yes.
Pwede pa lagay sa
Yes.
previous slide. Yung X pala nasa gitna. Paano yung ano
Anong X nasa gitna?
yung nucleophilic attack ni BR? But di siya kung ganito yung yung symmetric kasi nag-hydride shift.
Mhm.
Pareho naman mga molecule yung ma-result pa na. Pero kung
Oo. Pwede
kung
mag-hydrate chip. Kasi generic yun eh.
Kung may intermolecular
Pwede mag-carbocation arrangement.
kung may intermolecular na bromine, Sino pipiliin? Yung naka-free bar yung intermolecular mo?
Sorry. Again, Josh,
Kung may intermolecular po na bromine,
kung may
pipiliin ba
bromine ulit yan, ganun.
ipipiliin ba po yan yung mas kung yung inside the molecule na po or yung yung free?
Kung may intermolecular, hindi, syempre yung free kasi full negative yun eh. Bromide siya eh. Gusto mo lilipat yung bromine? Parang ganon?
Opo, pwede ba po yan?
Hindi. Kung meron kang free bromine, yun bromide ito. Full negative charge siya, Josh. So it means it can easily attack your carbocation. Pero, ito yung another case. Paano kung may full negative ka dun sa chain? Pwede ba siya mag-intermolecular, magko-closure?
How would it
Magkakaroon siya ng
possibly be full
information.
negative
Ring
po?
closure to. Pwede ba yon?
Pero paano po siya magiging full negative?
Di C-negative. Di may
Opo.
C-negative ka.
Si BR
Pwede
siguro
rin
mas
alkoxide,
na
Josh.
nucleophile eh. Mas
Diba?
maganda na yung nucleophile.
Ito yung sinasabi ko. Kunwari, ito Josh kunwari lang to. Check pa siya ito. Undo.
Ay,
Okay.
check.
Ayan. Eto. Tingnan mo to ha. Kunwari, andito ang ating carbocation, right? Paano kung somewhere, let's say, meron kang carbon dito na negative? Ayan. Kunwari, ayan. C1, 2, 3. Ayan. Ganyan. Enclosure.
Ring closure.
Pwede rin ganito. Paano kung alkoxide yan? Pero yung BR mismo na naka-attach, Josh, hindi siya ideal. So,
Okay.
paano kunwari alkoxide? Ayan. Pwede rin to. Pwede din niya, magre-ring closure. Ether, cyclic ether ang mabubuo mo dyan. Pwede rin nitrogen. Paano kung may nitrogen ka dyan, di ba? So,
Ano ba yung
that is
pinakamaliit?
also possible.
Boron.
So, carbide kasi yung C negative, di ba?
Opo.
Cyclic boron? Pwede naman
Opo.
mag-cyclic boron ka.
I just coughed din.
Cyclic, kung may sulfide ka dyan. Yeah, any negatively charged na any nucleophile actually can attack your carbocation now. Nagkataon kasi dito.
Nucleophilic attack.
Ito, intermolecular lang nga to. So, dito lang kasi nagkataon dito, si bromide mo, nasa free state na siya, as in, really negatively charged siya na nucleophile. A-attack niya na kagad yung dito. So, hindi to ideal yung
So, unless
sinasabi mo
theoretically
kanina
hindered po, laging preferred si
ayan,
free.
nabura na ba? Ayan. Oo, ayan, kunwari may ganyan ka. Ito ang a-attack, syempre. Kasi negative 2 eh. Hindi ito. Yan ang intindi ko sa tanong mo ha. Yan, hindi siya.
Laging preferred si free over
Yep.
same kumbaga na intermolecular.
Yeah. Yeah. Or pwedeng kung kaso Josh, ibang scenario yung may ganito. Let's say, alkoxide kunwari. Paano kung ganito? Ayan. Dalawa ang products mo ngayon. Magiging may bromine dito or pwede ring naka-ring closure siya na ether. Okay? So, yung meron yan na ganyan na product. So, ang magiging major product mo, I believe dito sa akin, kapag ganyan yung case, I see, depende dun sa positioning nung alkoxide mo. Kasi kung, let's say, ang mabubuo dito
Mas
ay
malakas kasi po siya yung
1,
alkoxide.
2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Oo. So, 7 to, right? So, 7. hindi to sterically hindered, baka ang maging major product mo dito, yung ring closure na reaction,
Kasi
hindi
mas
yung
malakas po si
brominated.
alkoxide.
Kasi at the same time, you're correct also, yung stronger base ang alkoxide versus dun sa halide lang natin. So, siya ngayon ang mas preferred na maging nucleophile. Stronger nucleophile siya. So, ring closure ang mangyayari dito. Ayan, ganyan siya. Tama ba? Tapos, ganito. Oop. Ay, ano? Ganyan yung mangyayari. Ay, nawala siya, Josh. Basta yung na cycloheptane siya na naka-cyclic ether. Yun yung mangyayari. Okay. Clear ba tayo dito, Josh? Ayan, ito. Tapos lagyan mo lang yan dito ng ganyan. Okay? So, cyclic ether yung mangyayari. We're good with this one, Josh?
Tabang.
Okay, sige. Proceed tayo kay ah sa next one. Yung next slide naman actually, Josh, ay ano lang din. Same lang yung diniscuss natin dito, pero naka electrostatic mapping lang, no? So, yung hydrogen halide ang magre-react dito. Ito kasi naka-carbocation na. Ay, baliktad. Baliktad yung pagkakalagay ko. Sorry, Josh. Wait, fix ko lang ng mabilis. Baliktad yan. So, dapat ito yan. Tapos dito yan. Okay. Aha. Ayan. Okay. There you go.
Okay. Ang galing
So,
pa na talaga na.
hydrogen halides. Ayan.
Ano ba yun? Yung ano, yung
Ayan.
ano ng blue versus red.
Carbocation. Kasi electron deficient yan.
So, deficient pa yung blue.
Electrophile ito. Deficient yung blue. So, if you will notice here, no, yung alkene mo, electron rich siya, top and bottom. Kasi maganda ito, Josh. Meron kang orientation nung HX, no? Kung ano yung magiging stereochemistry niya ba. So, dito, either naman yung above or below the ring ng alkene can attack the partially positive H of your hydrogen halide, no? So, eto dito, pinakita yung above the ring, no? Or above the plane rather. Above the plane of your alkene, siya yung umattack, nucleophilic attack, dun kay partially positive hydrogen of your HX. Tapos, naging free yung halide mo. Ayan na siya. So, which is a nucleophile already. Tapos, may nabuo kang carbocation. So, this carbocation is, like what I mentioned, just a intermediate, no? So, this is your slow step. Yan. So, rate determining step din siya. Ngayon, yung X negative mo, yung halide mo, this is your fast step, can now react dun sa carbocation. Ngayon, same din dito. Naalala mo yun kay sa substitution reaction natin. Di ba? Yung nag-flip, SN2, meron kang flipping nung inversion ang term. Naalala mo yun, Josh? Kasi trigonal planar ang carbocation. So, kapag SN2, mag-invert yung stereochem. Pero kapag SN1, dahil may carbocation ka, there's an equal chance na mag-attack sa isang side yung substituent mo, yung nucleophile. Tapos, pwede rin dun sa kabila. No? Kasi nakaalis na si
Actually,
leading group eh.
I don't know kung ano ba yan. Kasi, ayun, di kasi umiikot kasi po yung sigma band. Kasi
yung sa SN1, naalala mo?
Kasi po na si mga methyl, siguro deter sa halogen yan.
Yeah, pwede. Naalala mo yung SN1, yung step 2 na. Di ba yung step 1, aalis lang si leaving group. Tapos yung form carbocation. Tapos, kaya nga ang SN2, 50-50 siya eh. Race mate yung nabubuo. Di ba? Naalala mo. SN1 na, rather. Yung SN1, 50%, 50%. Kasi either sa other sides, no, either of the sides ng carbocation yung i-attack niya. Same din dito, Josh. Yung halide mo can attack the above or below the plane ni carbocation, resulting to these two addition products here. So, pwede siyang tingnan mo, ano to? Ito ay what? At ito ay yung ano? Ano yung two products mo? Two addition products. How can you differentiate them? Yung isa, yung HX na add sa same side. Yung kabila, yung right side mo, yung HX na add in opposite sides. Ano ngayon yan ulit? Naalala mo?
Opposite.
Yes, Josh. Ayan o. Hmm.
Cis tsaka trans sila eh. Pero kasi...
Oh, hindi cis trans ang term natin dyan for addition
wait,
reaction.
they're the same molecule.
Same molecule sila, pero anong addition to?
Di ba as in
Ito,
same
yung
molecule
sa
kasi umiikot lang naman si ano.
Ito, ayan.
Di ba hindi ba
Anong-
umiikot lang naman si ano? Si
Yeah, oo.
single bond.
Oo. Pero anong ano to? Anong addition product to? Pag nasa same
Syn?
side na add, syn addition. Okay? So this is your
Opo,
syn
sa si
addition. Anti-addition.
anti.
Tama.
Ayun na ba?
Anti-addition yung kabila. Okay? So far sa ngayon, equal chances sila. Tama? Sa ngayon ha, sa discussion natin. Kasi as we progress, Josh, may preference. May preference yan. Okay? So, abangan natin sa
Minsan
mga
may ano ba?
next
Anti-periplanar po. Hindi kaya nung sin.
So, yan ngayon yung ano natin dyan, challenge dito. So, lagi, alam mo, nagpapacomplicate ng mga reactions natin. And medyo stable naman na siguro yung internet.
Zero specificity.
Pag radio selective, tsaka stereo specific, or stereo selective yung mismong reaction. Okay? Gawa nitong mga mechanism na ganito. Katulad nito, yung carbocation pala, pwede kasi siyang ma-add yung either side, no, above or below the carbocation plane. So, yun yung mangyayari. Okay, so I think that's good, no? For this one. Wait lang. Ito, sige. Last na slide na to, Josh. Sorry. Para mag-e-end lang tayo ng maayos. So, we can have the...
Page 99.
So, last slide. So, may energy diagram for electrophilic addition. So, like the
So it's
similar
exothermic.
mechanisms. Yeah, exothermic siya. If you will notice, exothermic siya at the end, no? Kasi nga, ayan, eto. Yung change from your original na reagents, starting materials versus your product, ayun, sobra siya, no? So, negative ang mangyayari dito. So, this is exothermic, slightly exothermic na reaction, no? So, take note, dahil two steps ito, dapat dalawa ang peaks mo dito, no? And you will see two transition states rather. So, take note, since yung step 1 mo, siya yung slow step mo, siya yung rate determining step, what can you say about its EA? So, the EA should be higher compared to your EA2, no? Yung activation energy of your second step. So, take note, step 1 nasa higher energy transition state. Tapos, it's also your rate determining state. So, EA1 is greater than EA2. And then, the delta H naught for step 1 is positive kasi nga, more bonds are broken than formed. So, the delta H naught mo dapat ay positive. This is correct. Ayan. Tapos, sa step 2 naman, your delta H naught for step 2 is now negative dahil mas maraming bond ang nabuo na or na-make, no? So overall, pag pinag-add natin, the mechanism has two steps. So therefore, there are two energy barriers. So EA1 and EA2. Take note, EA1 is much greater than EA2. And then, your step 1 is the rate determining step. So EA1 greater than EA2. Tapos, if we will notice, the overall energy change will be slightly exothermic. No? So, yan ngayon yung itsura. This is a typical energy diagram for your electrophilic additions mechanism. Okay? So, ngayon, may mga transition states tayo dyan. So, yun yung i-check natin. Ayan, katulad nito. Ano yung transition state from your alkene, let's say cis-2-butene, going to your carbocation. Tapos, ano yung transition state from your fast step, no? Yung bromine na attack, nucleophilic attack ni bromine, tapos papunta sa formation ni alkyl halide. I think we can do this sa next meeting. Magiging part na siya ng problem na sasagutan natin. Okay? So,
Yes.
ayan
Tabang.
na. May bagong rule na naman tayong mamimit. So, next meeting na to, si Markovnikov tsaka yung transition states for your mechanism. At least, magandang review yun. Bago tayo magsimula ulit, ma-review natin yung mechanism. Okay? Ay, wait lang, Josh. Are you free tomorrow if you're good? May free time ka ba? Or may classes ka din na Saturday?
Di ko alam. Baka meron ba?
Sige.
Pero
Yeah,
hindi naman
update
yata.
na lang din. Pero kapag okay lang din naman, we can just continue this on Monday if ever. Okay? Sige. Thank you so much, Josh. Stop share lang ako. And then, I'll update you kung kailan yung next meeting natin. If you're free tomorrow and free din naman yung schedule ko bukas, hopefully, pwede kita i-meet just to have, just to make up dun sa lost sessions natin nitong week tsaka nung last week. Okay?
Tabang.
Okay, thank you so much, Josh. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Okay ba? Thank you ba? Bye-bye ba?
Bye-bye.